Lightsabers are some of the most famous weapons and methods of elimination in Star Wars history. The weapons have been used by the dueling Jedi and Sith for centuries. These weapons, however, are complex. So how do they work? Well, everybody, today I'm going to be explaining to you guys how a lightsaber is built and how it functions, maybe even with some brief history. Now, before I start, I just want to say that my editing software has been having some issues lately. I have not been able to upload my videos, so I'm truly sorry about that. Now into the video. Back in the times of the very ancient Sith and Jedi, they had used swords. However, they had eventually moved into the laser swords, or also called lightsabers, as these weapons were seen as more elegant and a perfect weapon for their people. As Obi-Wan said, an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. Mostly used by Force users, these weapons emitted a plasma blade that was powered by a kyber crystal on the inside. These are the same crystals that gave the Death Star's weapon its power. In Legends continuity, there are two types of kyber crystals, natural kyber crystals and synthetic ones. Synthetic crystals were made in factories and were just made to power the lightsaber. Kyber crystals were often preferred for a Force user, as their connection to the crystal made them stronger and more connected to the Force. Before kyber crystals were ever used, the very first lightsabers contained battery packs that were strapped to the belt of the wielder. In these times, combat was very different, as in duels, the two foes would generally go for the battery pack so that their enemy could not use their lightsaber. Now these weapons eventually evolved into the lightsabers that we know and love today. Now how do they operate? Well, some lightsabers have just regular buttons that when pressed, use the energy of the kyber crystal to emit a beam of plasma that can almost cut through anything. Now some lightsabers also have pressure systems, meaning that when the lightsaber drops or the wielder lets go of the lightsaber, it will shut off due to the pressure on the hilt being removed. Even lightsabers with on and off switches deactivate when dropped. You may ask how people manage to throw their lightsabers to keep them on? Well, there are two different ways. The first way is a certain modification on the hilt with the button. This modification will cause the button to stay in a locked position, preventing the lightsaber from turning off even when thrown or dropped. The second method was using the Force. Some wielders who had pressure-activated lightsabers would use the Force to keep the pressure around the saber as it was thrown so it would not deactivate in mid-air. Assembling the lightsaber, however, is a completely different story, and I'm going to tell you how Force users assemble their lightsabers. Now, it is hard to get much info on this, but what we do know is that once a Force user gets their kyber crystal, they use the Force to assemble their lightsaber. Lightsabers can also be made out of anything, as Luke Skywalker's lightsaber was just made out of scrap and spare parts. So guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe, as it really helps my channel grow. Tell me down in the comments below what you think of my explanation, and also what you guys want to see next. And lastly, as always, may the Force be with you all. Until next time.